Here go Ye, he stand up. We all saying, yeah, he right. But boy, when they grab that baddest, that's always been a tactic. You take the baddest, bring him out in front of all the slaves, and you tie him up and you whoop him, and you whoop him, and you whoop him, and you keep whooping him in front of all these slaves. This y'all baddest one, y'all richest one, he gonna stand up to us. And we all sit there and watch. Don't nobody join in. No celebrity, no entertainer. Jay-Z punk ass turned on him. They whooping him. They putting them lashes on his back. Then he find out, Toby, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. They still whooping him. I'm sorry. Don't stop whooping him. And we ain't said that's enough. We ain't stood up and said, y'all, that's enough. We ain't playing no more basketball.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, mostly with the honest LGMS and honest you Akim. Peace and bless to all you brothers and sisters that listen. The whole filler that's called La Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And we know the hot topic. Said I wanted to do another video and have to do that video. Ado and Ratazah. But the hottest topic right now, the public lynching of Kyrie Irving. Okay, just like you have this article right here. I'm gonna just start off with that as well. These Amalekites going after him hard, man. You see, and that's what tied this lesson. I guess our title, they try to press a man in his heritage, man. See, we could call ourselves anything we want, but the minute we say we the chosen, we the Israelites, it's a huge threat, man. Huge threat, man. Okay. We see they suspended him definitely. All for posting a link. He didn't say anything. Like I said in the last video, he didn't say anything. He just posted a link, and he even pressed him on. He said, "I don't believe in everything that's in that documentary." I'm gonna get another article after this soon. You see, but this is all gonna backfire on you Amalekites, man. This is all going to backfire, man. Okay, because they want to, like we said, they want to public lynch him. They want to buck break him, right? They're talking about he have to meet with a Amalekite rabbi. You see, they want to re-educate him, okay? Remind him of who he is, a slave. They want us to remain black, man. Dead, man. Okay? But I've seen this article. They said what? Sales spike for anti-Shemitic book tutored by Kyrie Irving. They said sales for the book content promoted by NBA star Kyrie Irving skyrocketed this week, proving the far-reaching impact of Kyrie's musings as he issued an apology late Thursday after the Brooklyn Nets suspended their point guard start. Right? So they said Hebrews to Negroes wake up Black America, which some brothers saw it. They say bring out some interesting points, but they go off on some things, right? But it says the same name of the film tweeted without comment by Kyrie. So he tweeted it without even saying anything, right? Is the best-selling book in Amazon's religion and spirituality and social sciences category. That's why we just did a video. This word has reached the gates of the nobles. Truth says you can't do nothing against the truth, but only for it. And when you look at the comments, people was like, what's the big deal about this documentary? Now I'm going to look it up now. Because the way you guys responded. Okay, if they didn't have this type of response, if they didn't take these measures against Kyrie Irving, nobody would know anything about it. People would just go about their day-to-day life. But since you guys created such a controversy, right? This huge scandal, man. But Yahweh Bashim Shah is publicizing this word on a whole nother level. That's why they telling you, showing these articles, they telling you that book, even though it goes off on some things, is a bestseller on Amazon. It's a bestseller on Apple. Okay? And the book, pretty much the film or the book showing you that how these Amalekites took our heritage, so to speak, man. They took our heritage, man, when we fell, man. And that's a fact. They did. Okay, they did steal our heritage, man. And that's when we read this. Oh, yes. And this last article here, before I get into the scriptures, Jason Whitlock, which I'm not a fan of him anyway, but he's also one of those sportscast guys. He said Kyrie Irving suspended for not obeying the regime. All right. A Negro that got out of line, man. That's what he's saying. Right? He wasn't obeying the regime, man. The powers to be. Your massa. So pretty much this is them telling you, get in line, boy. That's what they're telling you. Brooklyn Nets have suspended point guard Kyrie, who posted the link to the documentary that is hosted on Amazon for at least 5 games, but not saying definitely. They cut off his Nike ties as well. Nike cut off ties with him. So that's a lot of money and a lot of sponsorship that he's losing. Source analysts on Twitter shared thoughts on the issue, said Kyrie suspended for not obeying the regime. Watch the Negroes who all cap for cap fall for silent and reveal who they answer to, all the fake revolutionaries. Right, which they didn't stand with Kaepernick, right? Even though they said, whatever the case is about the whole flag situation, right? But this situation right here, they damn sure ain't gonna stand with Kyrie. You see? Because he's coming up against the Amalekite, man. And who does run the world, man? The chief of the house of Aisha, man. Okay, they damn sure ain't gonna stand. We seen Shaq cooning, big ass coon. Charles Barkley, he's disgusting, man. Shannon Sharp and all these guys, ain't none of them have his back, man. Alright? And it shows you that these entertainers are not leaders. They're not leaders, man. You just stop looking to these guys for leadership, man. Because they have a voice or a platform, they're not your leaders. Alright? But now let me read this precept though. Let me read Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Let's get into the scriptures, man. I just have to start with these articles. And this is not going to stop. This is all the Lord's doing. Okay? Yahweh Shemel Shah is creating controversy. And like I said in the last video, this truth is like wildfire. It's going to keep growing and growing and growing. Before the Most High brings the ultimate judgment, the truth has to be magnified, man, globally. Okay? Just showed you the Jerusalem Post. That's over there in damn where them rats are. Alright? They telling you that book, that controversial book and film is now a bestseller. See? Michael Judge, and it's going to cause more. I've seen a lot of people's comments saying, I don't know what the controversy is, but now I want to look into that thing now. Now I want to research what this thing is about. And the reason why that happened because of you guys' response, man. Showing you how about Shemel Shah is playing chess. Let's read this. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, man. So this man is constantly thinking about some plot or some scheme, man. Okay? Scripture says he devised iniquity upon his bed when he's sleeping. When people are supposedly sleeping at night. Alright? They have all kind of think tanks. Like the WEF. How they gonna what? How they gonna further oppress the people, man? We've seen it right now with the inflation, the gas prices, them openly telling you in the media that they're gonna cut off the power supply, man. They're gonna cut off the energy, man. They're gonna dwindle your resources. Okay? You're gonna run out of fuel. They're destroying the food processing plants. That's him devising iniquity upon his beds. Okay? When the morning is light, they practice it. And because it is the power of their hand, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And they covet fields. Hell, they took all the continents. Alright? And take them by violence, because he was blessed with the sword. And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. They even oppress your heritage, your culture. Right? They kept us away from that. They created these foolish institutions, these schools, these universities, and you were being taught nothing. You were taught their history. Alright? Or you were being taught his story. Okay? But now Yahweh Shemel Shah said, he will raise us up in the land of our captivity. Now it's a problem. Now it's a threat. Now you see his horns is coming out, man. You could be a nigga, African American. Hell, you could even be associated with Farrakhan, man. And he has said a lot of inflammatory things. But the minute you say you're an Israelite, you're chosen, it's a huge problem because the powers to be, they understand when you Israelites, when you wake up, that's the end of his empire, man. He understands that, man. All right. And they funded the slave trade, the Amalekite. right? And they showing you so much for freedom of speech, you have no opinion. But let me get Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. Okay? This is an eye-opener to everybody, man. I mean, for you simple-ass niggas who keep talking about the American dream and money and this, that, and the third, two of these guys, they have money, man. And they still have no opinion. They still a slave, man. They still considered 3/5 of a man. They can't even have their own thoughts, all right? They can't even openly publish their identity without being persecuted, all right? But the scripture says, give me Daniel chapter 7, verse 25, it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, which he's doing right now. He's been wearing us out, man. Okay? The oppressive man, even in his heritage. And tink to tink times and laws like this whole daylight savings nonsense. You see? Let's read on. It says, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times and a dividing of a time. That's going into the 350 years. Right, so this is going into what? The fourth beast. We know Rome. It came back as the 10 horns. NATO and the EU, the whores of America, which came out of those 3 horns. That subdued the 3 kings. Okay, the Brits, the Spaniards, and the French. That's America, man. And we just read in the scriptures that he was going to speak what? Great words against the Most High. Okay. So it says, while the Lord was crucified or crossed out and put up that fake image. And now we're going into what? Setting up a fake people. But the scripture says it's only going to be for a certain time, the 350 years. That's, Baba Bivens and the elders and the apostles started pushing this word. And now we at the stage now where Yahweh Shai said the gospel of the kingdom is spreading everywhere now, man. All walks of life, people are knowing about this truth, man. Okay? Let me get Psalm chapter 50, verse 20. So they try to oppress our heritage like that film went into, from Hebrews to Negroes. We're not black, man. They want us to remain black or dead. Okay? Choose this Psalm chapter 50, verse 20. It says, Most High is going into the who? The wicked, Aisha. Okay? It says, 50 and 16, it says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, thy tongue frameth deceit. Verse 19, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, who? Jacob. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. The scripture calls him what? The accuser of the brethren. All right? And plus they have control over the media, calling us criminals, thugs, black, and all these other strange bywords, man. That's you slandering Jacob, man. And you set up those pitfalls or those traps or those stumbling blocks to cause Israel to go off. The music industry, that was a topic of the debate. All these dead rappers. And who was funding it? The Amalekite, man. All right? These things thou hast done, and I kept silence. Thou didst thought I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I reprove thee, correct thee. All right? You're being exposed before the world now. And the more you move is the more people are waking up to you. Like we said, that documentary or that book would not have been number one had you did nothing. Had you just ignored it and just kept moving on, nobody would have paid attention to it. But because of your response, people are now intrigued now. They want to look into it, man. Right? And the Most High said what? And I will set them in order before thine eyes. And we're being set in order right before our enemies' eyes. I mean, call him Nayal Bashim Yal Shah, man. Okay? And like we said, this is nothing new. They did this in the past. You read the book of 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. When the Greeks came in, Antiochus Epiphanes. All right, the scripture says, 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. It says, well, let's read up. It said, verse 1, not long after the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High. Which he sent Heliodorus the tax collector as well. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus. And then garrison of Jupiter defend of strangers. You see? I'm going to get that prayer in a minute. As they did desire that dwelt in that place. Because this is all prophesied in Daniel the 8th chapter about the Greeks. Which are also what? Edomites. The coming in his mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and revelings of the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. That's like sure, he makes everything profane. And we can see that today, man. We can see that wherever your society is run, we see everything is perverse, everything is turned upside down. Besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. Okay? The altar was also filled with profane things which the law forbiddeth, and Aisha loves that. Okay, you Negroes, especially in that industry, you promote nothing but things that's profane, and he puts money behind it. Right? It pays to be wicked in this society, man. Okay? Well, he was doing that by then. He was enticing you to sin. He gave you a license to sin. Verse 6, neither was it lawful to keep the Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. There's nothing new under the sun. So we see that these two high-profile cases, them coming back to their nationality, it's a huge problem, man. They don't want you professing at all to be an Israelite, a chosen. Okay? The sons of the power, man. All right? That's why because they understood when you read the book of Judith. Matter of fact, let's get that through the spirit, man. What did that Ammonite say? Let me get that. Judith. So calling La Yahweh Shemal Shah, man. You know, they coming on in this dude Kyrie. Got him to apologize. The scripture says, before I read the book of Judith, it says, he that taketh away his neighbor's laying, he that taketh away his neighbor's living, slayeth him. I believe that's Sirach 34:22. Right? So they're slaying you publicly, man. Like we said, they buck breaking you publicly. All right? If you're truly a servant of Yahweh Shemal Shah, you'll stand your ground. But let me get the book of Judith, though. Let's see, Judith chapter 5, verse, let's see. I guess I'm going to skip through some points. So we're going to go through Hurley Furnaz, which we know this using the Assyrians was come and attack Israel at that time. This was during also the time of Hezekiah, all right? They were contemporaries. Judith, Hezekiah, Isaiah, Micah, all right? This is all during the same time period, you see, which we know the Assyrians took down the northern kingdom and they tried to take down the southern kingdom, but the Most High stopped it. But anyway, let's read on. It says, so he wanted to speak to, he wanted to know, he inquired more about us. Who are we? And he speak to who? Achir, who was an Ammonite. All right, let's read. It says, verse 3, and he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who is this people that dwelleth in the hill country? And what are the cities they inhabit? And what is the multitude of their army? And where is their power and their strength? Just like any general would do. Okay? He has to inquire, he has to counsel before he go to war. And he wants to know about his enemies. What king is set over them, or captain of their army? And they have determined not to come and meet me more than all the inhabitants of the west. Then said Achir, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, who, us, the Israelites, which dwelleth near thee and inhabit the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. This people are descendant of the Chaldeans. We know Abraham came out of what? Babylon. They sojourned here too to Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which are in the land of Chaldea. Alright? Which you know that's going into ancient Babylon. This is our forefather Abraham. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the Most High of heaven, the power of heaven, Yahweh and his son named Yahweh Shai. And the power whom they knew, so cast them out from the face of their gods and fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. Then the power commanded apart from the place where they sojourned to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt and were increased with gold and silver and very much cattle. But when the famine covered all the land, they went down into Egypt, which was going to town of Jacob, and sojourned there. And they were nourished and became a great multitude, so that one cannot number their nation. Before the king of Egypt rose up against them, so the nations know our history. Aisha knows our history. That's why he wants us to remain in that state of darkness, aka black. Okay? And dwelt subtility with them, and brought them low with labor and brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. We know this was the time of Moses. And the Most High dried the Red Sea, or the Gulf of Suez, before them, and brought them to Mount Sinai and Canaan's Barney, and forth dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all the Esabon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, Perizzite, Jebusite, these are all Canaanites, we know that, Shibsonite and Girgazites, and dwelt in that country many days. And this is the point. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because Yahweh Bashem Yahshua that hated iniquity was with them. And they understood that, man. Okay? Let's read it, verse 19. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore battles, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and to the temple of their God was cast to the ground. You know, Nebuchadnezzar did that. And their cities were taken by the enemies. All right, but in this situation right here, we know it's going into what? The Assyrians. All right. Assyrians took down the northern kingdom. We know later on the Babylonians took down the southern kingdom. But then read on, it says, but now they return to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we became a reproach before all the world, man. So they understood, if Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is with us, who can be against us, man? Who, man? But they understood it. Once Israel is in tune with their power and they're one with Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, no nation can take us down, man. None, man. All right? And this is what the Amalekite, and this is what these nations are scared of, man. Us tapping back into that power, man. It's about power, man. Let me read Psalms 144. I guess I close it out with that precept. Kolein Ma'yal Bashem Yahshua, man. Okay? Let's read Psalms 144, verse 1. Now, verse 1, I'm going to jump. Psalms 144, verse 7, he says, send thy hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters. Which that's going into what? Tribulation, persecutions, from the hand of strange children. Okay, these heathen nations, starting with these who? These Idumeans, these Edomites, man. Okay, that strange nation that came from far. Okay, tell you that in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. As swift as the eagle flight, which tongue we won't understand. This is them, whose mouths speak vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. The scripture told you that he was a liar from the beginning. Okay? The right hand of he specialized in lies, man. His society was built off lies, man. All those lies and those strongholds are being cast down. I will sing a new song unto thee, O power upon a psaltery, and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. And we're singing that song. The song is the gospel, man. Salvation. Okay? To the 12 tribes, man. That's the kingdom of heaven. Okay? It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, and who delivered David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood, man. So King David is asking what to deliver me from the hand of this strange nation, strange children. Okay? We seeking deliverance, man, because they're about to make their move. That our sons may be as plants grown in their youth, and our daughters may be as cornerstones polished after the similitude of a palace. Alright? Because Israel is the Lord's treasure, man. Alright? Let me read on. It says that our garners may be full, affording all manners of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets. We're going to prosper again. Okay? This is the beginning stages of that, man, but it starts with the knowledge. Then when Yahweh Shai come back, we're going to have the kingdom. That our oxen may be strong to labor, that it be no breaking in, no going out, that it be no complaining in our streets. Happy is that people, who the Israelites, that in such a case they happy as that people whose power is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Kolim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. Right? We're returning back to our heritage, man. Yeah, we were oppressed and it was taken away from us. But the scripture says a times, and a dividing of a times. This is that time. Okay, after that 350 years, Israel waking back up, man. Even these guys that are part of the 2/3 club, a lot of these celebrities, they waking up to their nationality, man. This is all Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is doing, man. Okay? It's time for the prince of this world to be cast down. Alright? So that must say, Kolim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Shalom.